If you clicked on this video, then you already know you need to start building your personal brand. Maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe you're tired of people trying to get you to pay $100 for an online course when you can just watch my video series for free right here. Or maybe you've just been overthinking these things for months. You probably have a bit of fear, excitement, and that little voice in your head saying, what if
people don't care?
What if
I look cringe?
What if
I'm not ready yet?
I get it. I've been there. So that's why in this episode, we are going to talk about what personal branding really is, the science behind why it works, and step-by-step strategies that you can use today to get started on your journey without having to pay other people for a course. If you have 10,000 followers or if you have 0 followers, you can start with this video, and I guarantee it is going to transform the way that you tackle personal branding. Hello, my name is Dora, and I've been helping hundreds of people turn their skills, personality, and passions into brands that actually attract opportunities. I've been doing this for about 5 years. The reason I'm making this series is because, quite honestly, I'm tired of people trying to get others to buy courses online to get more clients, to get a better job, or to be more recognizable online. I'm going to teach you the very basics in this episode so that you can get started today. Whether you're a fitness trainer who wants more clients, or whether you're a healthcare professional trying to be more recognizable in your industry, or maybe you're a realtor trying to get more attention online. This video can help anyone in any industry, and that is the beauty about social media and what I do. Before we get started in this video, what I want you to do is grab a notebook, grab a cup of coffee, something, and let this be a very simple and easy way to get started. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel because this is episode 1 out of a lot more miniature series where I teach you how to build a better brand. Let's get into it. Before we dive into strategy, I'm going to talk about a lot of the mental roadblocks that you might experience or maybe have already experienced before starting your journey on social media. The reason why we have to address this first is because I know you. You don't know me, but I know you. And because if we don't address this first, you'll just keep finding reasons to keep pushing it off. As someone with a bachelor's in biology, if psychology has taught me anything in school, it's that our brains are wired to fear rejection. And that's why a lot of us are so risk adverse. And this is something that is strictly biological. I'm here to tell you that most people are not paying as much attention to you as you think. This idea comes from something called the spotlight effect, where we think everyone is noticing every single tiny flaw, when in reality, they are too busy paying attention to themselves to be worried about you. So these ideas are really important to keep in mind, because when you start your journey on social media, your first 100, 200, 300 posts are going to flop. And the reason I say this is when you get started, part of the journey is for practice, not perfection. If you are worried about showing up on social media, the best thing you can do is start today. And the reason why is because a lot of people will wait till they feel ready to get started. And the reason why that is so detrimental is because no one ever feels ready to do something, especially in the social media realm. It is all about learning and enjoying the journey. I always tell people, if your posts aren't flopping, you're not doing something right. Part of the way that you get to know your audience is by figuring out what doesn't work. Another concern you may have is maybe you just don't want to be cringe. And let me tell you that this worry about, avoiding embarrassment at all costs, those are valid concerns, but I guarantee you that what might feel cringe to you might actually be helpful for someone online. Getting started might already feel a little bit out of your comfort zone, but the beauty in social media is that you get to show up in however way you want to. If you are comfortable doing talking videos directly to the camera, I think that's a great way to start. Maybe you use clips of B-roll with text overlaid on top, or maybe you just want to do a voiceover. Once you figure out what you're most comfortable with, then you can start experimenting and jumping further and further out of your comfort zone. If any of those mental blocks feel familiar, then you're not alone. So now that we've talked about some of the roadblocks that you might face, or maybe you've already faced, we can jump into the very basics of personal branding that I wish someone would have showed me like 5 years ago. I'm going to clear something up, and I think it's important to just put it out there that personal branding is not just pretty colors and a nice logo. It is the way that people perceive you online or think about you when they hear your brand or your name. A study from Harvard found that people make their first impressions within 7 seconds of meeting you, which is literally crazy. And when you think about how small people's attention spans are, it can definitely feel a little overwhelming. The reason I say this is because you need to understand something very, very unique about our brains. We have something called the reticular activating system. I know that sounds like a lot of wordy scientific knowledge, and it kind of is, but essentially what this means is that our brains have a system that automatically filters what is relevant to you. That's why it's so important to show up consistently with the same tone and even the same style, because when you do that, you will stick to people's memory. So again, personal branding 101. Even if you're not building your personal brand intentionally, you still have one, and you're just letting people decide what it is. You can let people decide for themselves what your personal brand means to them, but I personally think that it is a whole lot better to have autonomy over your personal brand. And the way that I teach people how to develop their personal brand is by answering 4 very simple questions. If you have a notebook and a pencil or a pen, we're gonna do this really, really quick exercise that is gonna help you start thinking about how you wanna show up and what you wanna talk about online. Right now, we need to figure out your why, your who, your what, and your how. Why do you show up? What is your purpose of posting content online? Do you want to help someone? Do you want to share your experience? Do you want to inspire others? The next thing, who do you want your audience to be? The more specific you can get, the better. If you are a women's fitness trainer, don't just say, I want to help women. Make it more specific. Women who have already struggled with losing weight in the past, or women who have just had a baby. The more specific you get, the more you will be able to create content for that audience. Next, answer what you want to help people with. This is a value that you offer, and what it does is that it helps you build authority and trust. And the very last thing you want to figure out is, how do you want to show up online? Think about your tone, your style. What types of videos do you want to do? Are they instructional? Are they videos of you talking directly to the camera? This exercise is going to be the most important thing that you do before you get started. We've talked about roadblocks you might have. We've talked about how to develop your content, but now I'm going to talk about how to actually get started on social media. Now that you've done all these things, you need an action plan. My recommendation is picking 1 to 2 platforms that you might use, whether that be YouTube, Instagram, or maybe it's TikTok as well. And what you want to do is write down 5 content pillars or topics that you want to address in your content. If you're a fitness influencer, then maybe those pillars could be quick workouts, nutrition tips, and client transformations. You don't have to choose a lot of topics to get started, but you definitely do need to pick what you're going to focus on. And the very, very most important thing that you can do when you get started is to post consistently. Now, a lot of influencers and content creation gurus online are going to tell you to post every single day. Personally, I think that is a great standard to strive for, but do I think it's realistic? Not necessarily. I'm gonna take a wild guess that if you're watching this video, you might feel a little bit overwhelmed with the idea of starting your content creation journey. So the last thing you want to do is overwhelm yourself with a crazy goal of posting every single day for a month. Start very small. Start posting once or twice a week and see where it goes from there. But the most important thing to do is to stay consistent, whether that be once a day or once a week. You want to post as much as you can without getting burnt out. Now, I know posting is only half of the game, and that's why I have a whole instructional video on Instagram growth strategy. It is just too much to talk about in one video, and so I wanted to break it down to make it as easy and as bite-sized as possible. So make sure that you subscribe so that when that video gets posted, you can watch it, and so that it's bite-sized and super easy to understand for you. So if you haven't already in this video, I really want you to take literally 5 minutes and write down your why, your who, your what, and your how. A couple of those content pillars, and the very last thing you need to do to get started today is post 1 video this week. Challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone. I guarantee you that it will be so worth it when people start reaching out to you saying, you've helped me so much, or maybe that you've motivated them or inspired them in some way. This content creation journey is going to be worth it. So now that you know the mindset, the science, and a couple of things that you can do today to get started, in episode 2 of the series, we're gonna jump right into Instagram growth strategies so that you can work on reaching more people with less effort. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications because your personal brand starts now.